Do you journal? Like really journal, you know, like writing down your thoughts at the end of the day. Do you do that? I had that before. I journaled before. It was a really good way to kind of just understand what happened in the day and to like really at the end of the day reflect, right? You don't want to keep on expending energy and keep on making new experiences, but before you go to sleep, you just kind of like reflect and see how the day goes. I used to journal. I don't journal anymore. Like not because like I don't want, well, technically because I don't want to anymore. Like I don't need to at that point, I guess. But for me, I just like, number one, I don't want to or need to, but also like I don't have time to. You know, I have a lot of things on my mind, and maybe it's the time for me to really just relax, you know, not do too much. But I'm enjoying what I'm doing. But that's neither here nor there. What I mean is that, do you journal, right? So journaling allows me to, or journaling allowed, because it's not here anymore, allowed me to really just reflect on what happened in the day. Because there's a lot of times you just forget about what happened in the day, right? A human is more prone to looking at the negative than they are the positive. And that's not because your brain, you know, your brain just does some crazy stuff. No, it's not about that. I think biologically, you're more prone to pay attention to the negative, because the negative is what is a detriment to survival, right? If we still were in like the primitive mindsets, the negative is what really gets you kind of in trouble. You know, like what's the negative of something that, like, you know, like you got chased by a wolf or something, and like we're not gonna get chased by wolves now, right? We're not gonna get chased by wolves now, but like let's say like, and that's like you get chased by wolves, and that's the reason why the negative is such a strong power over us, right? From, I guess, from like in my type of bro science, you know, like I've never really like looked into it, but hopefully it's right. And again, I'm just a stranger on the internet. Take everything that I say with a pinch of salt. And so that's what I think. So you journaling allows you to kind of recollect and reimagine or redefine the day, and being like, all right, so what really happened today? Did a lot more good things happen than bad things happen? Because you will start to realize that there are actually a lot of good things that happened today, right? There's a lot of good things that happened today, but you can't concentrate on the bad thing. And what does that mean when you concentrate on the bad thing? Well, that ruins a lot of your day, especially when you start off today as a bad day, or as a bad thing, right? And that happens a lot. More so than you actually realize how much concentrating too much on the negatives does happen, right? Some people just wake up like, you know, that the whole way, I woke up on the wrong side of the bed, and I'm like, yeah, for sure, but that doesn't mean you have to wreck your day, you know? Yeah, there's that bad thing happened, or you start to remember something, or you see something that's like, oh dang it, like I saw something that wasn't good, like that's gonna ruin my day. You know, like you can get inside your feels way too quickly. You can get inside your intrusive thoughts way too quickly. You can. That's just, we're programmed that way. It's not a mental disability, I don't think, right? Like on a general, like on the average, on the rules of averages, I don't think that's like a mental disability or illness. It's just the way that our brains are programmed. You have intrusive thoughts. You have all these things, and it's our jobs to kind of just pick and choose, you know, which thoughts we want to concentrate on. And we don't want to, in the end, we don't want to divulge and indulge our intrusive thoughts. You know, that whole thing, my chat loves to tell this to me, right? My chat loves to tell me like, oh, Damien has 2 wolves in him. Both of them are dumb. Like, you know, I'm not going to say dumb, but like what I'm saying is that you do, it's true. Take that into another concept and being like, all right, so there are things that I want to indulge and kind of feed and kind of nurture. I don't want to nurture something that's not going to be a help for me, right? And you have that every single day. You have to nurture, you have to provide for and take care of and feed, quote unquote, if you're talking about wolves. You have to really cater to the things that you want to concentrate on versus not, because both of us like both negative and positive traits or negative and positive emotions exist in us. So you just need to decide which one we want to concentrate on. Both of them are very useful, right? For example, a negative emotion, like let's say sadness or let's say anger, are signals. We have them for a reason. They signal something that has happened to you. And if you're not self-aware enough to understand what the emotion does, then you have a tendency to not use it properly, right? Sadness allows you, like, again, the Inside Out, I think it's Inside Out. Yeah, the movie The Inside Out from Disney, it portrays it really, really well. If you don't understand the emotion and the job that emotion that has in your body and in your chemistry, then you don't kind of utilize your entire being to its full potential. Because again, emotion like sadness or emotion like anger allows you to understand like what makes you sad and you know, like understand that, and anger allows you to understand like, well, okay, what of it is a sign, like what of it that made you angry? Is it the sign of disrespect? Well, okay, let's think about that, you know, like all these things you have to kind of put it together. And we have those, right? We have those days where we kind of wake up in a bad time, or in the middle of the day we kind of have that negative thing, or at the end of the day we kind of have that negative thing. No matter how much good that has happened throughout the entire day, you concentrate on the bad thing more. And I'll give you an example. Today I'm poo-poo, right? Today I am poo-poo. I started off the day pretty badly. Like, you know, there's things that I saw that are not the things that I wanted to see, right? And yesterday in work I also had like something bad, like again, like these things kind of, and then it kind of piles up, and then until you realize when you're talking about it or when you're kind of reflecting on it, there's more good things than bad things that happen. I just concentrate on it, right? So today I don't have that kind of I don't have that start, right? So I started off with a negative, right? So I just have to keep building on what it is, and I can't just give up being like, well, the day's done, okay, let's go next kind of thing, you know, go next, right? No, like the day there's another full day. I just need to be very understanding that it will get better. It does. You have to allow the day to unfold, and it really does have a good day, right? So I just need to remember and be self-aware enough to understand that, you know what, the day's gonna be good. The day's gonna be good. And I want to see what your kind of takes on that is, right? Because and I'm just spewing out like just nonsense here for a lot of people. You know, these are my kind of brain ramblings, and number one, I'm tired. I am all tired as all tired can get, right? I am. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe like one day they're like, you know what, Damien, this was not a good podcast. This was crazy. Why did you release this thing? This is a lot of misinformation. You should really just take it out. And maybe I will. You know, I felt cute today. Might delete it later, right? Maybe that. Okay? But this is what I feel right now, and hopefully I'm not saying anything bad, I don't think so. There you go. But yeah, what my coping mechanism on that is like journaling and stuff, and it allows me to realize that there's more things, but you can't journal at the beginning of the day. So what do you do at the beginning of the day? Well, one thing that I like to do at the beginning of the day, which is a really good thing if you feel like you've started the day badly, is to have some physical activity. Like today I woke up pretty badly. I saw something that I didn't really want to see, or I consumed something accidentally that I didn't really want to consume, and everything that spirals from there. I am a human being, don't forget that. All right, I am a human being, and I have these tendencies as well. I deal with spiraling thoughts. I deal with I deal with overthinking. I deal with these other emotions, right? My chemicals are just firing through me because that is what it is. And a lot of it is the experiences that you have. Some people will have it, some people won't. And that's because you experience life in a different way. Everybody has a unique way of looking at life, their own unique perspective at looking at life. And for me, like I had something, I'll just say it bluntly, I had something bad happen. and now I have to deal with it, right? Because it's not anybody's job other than myself to deal with it, you know? And my one way for me to deal with it is to really just exert myself and have physical activity so that I get out of my mind and into my physical body, right? So I like to work out, I like to jump around, like just find something that's physical enough that I can get away from thinking so much. And that's like a coping mechanism, right? That helps out. That's a way to kind of regulate myself. That's me regulating my emotions, and we can come back to that in a bit, regulating emotions. But these are emotions. These are chemicals in my brain that's firing off because I think something bad's gonna happen. There is something that got triggered inside of me when I saw something, and all of a sudden you're just like, well, you know what? Don't do that. You know, stop that. It's over. Let's go ahead and do something else. So that's what I'm doing. So I'm regulating myself because that's something in me that's being programmed by my past experiences that I need to realize, you know what, this is okay. And nothing bad is gonna happen to me, right? Because this is a completely different scenario. No matter what it is, Damien, that you think is in your head, these are completely different sets of different sets of players and objects. This is a completely different scenario. And this will have a different outcome. No matter what, this will be a different outcome in some capacity, right? For example, do you know that video game? Man, I love this video game so much. His name is Voss. Far Cry 3, one of the better, or if not the best Far Cry, I think everything started to go down from there. I think Far Cry 3 was pretty good. Voss was the second, like the first antagonist of the series, and what Voss said was that I think they said, like, do you know the meaning of insanity? When you do something over and over again, the same thing over and over again, and expect a different scenario or a different outcome kind of thing. That's what insanity is. Like, you're doing one thing over and over again, you expect a different outcome. And you know what, and it's true. That's like, I'm insane, right? I'm insane. No, I'm just kidding. Imagine I just come out as the Joker. I'm just kidding. But like you're from what I want to kind of connect with that is that the term, like, doing something over and over again and expecting a different result, well, you're not doing something over and over again. This is a different scenario. You may think that it is the same thing over and over again because in your brain you kind of program it into one negative thought. I feel sad. That's perfect. Or I feel angry. That's perfect. Or I feel disappointed. That's perfect, right? But there's different players to it. You can categorize it in different things. So you have to really just to see why it's making you angry, why it's making you feel that specific emotion, and then you deal with that. And I can tell you right now, there's gonna be it's literally gonna be this different every single time. More often than not, it is a completely different scenario, and it will have different results, right? And you just have to deal with that. Now, in going back into the fact that, like, regulate your emotions kind of thing, this is a really true fact. I like to regulate my emotions. I practice it all the time, and it's very difficult to regulate emotions because we're not taught that in any sort of capacity by people around us and whatnot. We have to kind of just learn from it, right? We learn through what our parents and guardians kind of like teach us, or have or what do you call this, teach us, or kind of like show us via, like, you know, that experience, right? So they kind of show us through that, and that's how we kind of like regulate our emotions at the basic level. Nobody really tells us, like in school, like, all right, everyone, it's time for us to regulate our emotions. No one's ever told you that. It's just something that you kind of learn through it. And I wish someone would teach us more of regulating our emotions, because it's a really big thing, right? Because our emotions are huge in human standpoints. They're massive. They control us. They control a lot of us, and we have to control it. We have to control it in a sense that, like, we have to understand it. we have to understand it more than we have to control it. So like regulating your emotions, a lot of it is mostly on breathing. A lot of it is like, again, the coping mechanisms that I said before. And that's, and I think that's one of the major skills that I've learned now growing up, right? And it's very useful in every scenario in your life, because you will need to regulate somehow some sort of bad thought or bad mindset someplace, or just a really bad day, and you're in your feels, right? You're in your feels. You just have to really just breathe and get yourself away from the feels, because I've preached about this kind of concept for a long time. Like on my streams, I really do just like go off, and I just go off on my streams. I just go crazy in terms of like kind of just like dispensing advice, right? And again, as I said before, take everything that I say with a pinch of salt. I am a stranger on the internet. If you feel like it's a good thing for you to kind of follow, then go ahead and follow. If it's a bad thing, then go ahead and just don't follow. There's an unsubscribe and like button for a reason. All right. So if you're listening to this and you don't like it, go ahead and just unsubscribe and dislike. Hopefully you don't. But like, as I said before, it's there for a reason, because it's there to tell yourself like, well, I don't like this content or whatnot. Anyways, not saying all that. What I'm saying is that now I lost my train of thought because I'm crazy ADHD. Come on, let me just think. What do I do? Let me just think. Let me think. Emotional regulation. Oh no, I lost my train of thought, dude. No. Come on. What was I trying to say? What was I trying to say in their emotional regulation? Now I'm kind of lost in my own sauce. Right? Oh, learning. Yes, learning emotional regulation. Like, it is something that I think is very useful, and like it's something to be very aware of, right? And learn as soon as possible, if you have the capacity to learn as soon as possible, emotional regulation, right? Because it is a very, very useful skill, and the earlier you can learn it, the better it is for you in terms of just doing things, achieving things in your life. Because if the less you have, that's what I was trying to say. That okay, that too. Okay, I'm stopping that because I've already said that. It's in your feels. There you go. Oh my goodness, thank you. We're back. We're back on track. We're back on track. Okay, so when you're in your feels, it's like being in a fire, right? You're in the thick of it. In the thick of it, anybody, and you have to get yourself away from all of that, of all the fire around you, and you have to look at your life as a third person, in the third person, and see, whoa, okay, I see that I'm kind of like floundering inside this giant maelstrom of difficulties. But if I really look at it in the third person, and I see it in a wider kind of lens, I can see there's so many good things that happen in my life. It just right now it's bad. And that's a skill, again, you need to have, which is to take yourself away, like just calm down and smell the roses for a bit. You look at it and being like, hold on a second, there's a lot of good things that's happened, and I'm concentrating too much of the little thing. I'm concentrating too much of the small thing. Let's go ahead and just sit back and just see the big picture. And the big picture, more likely than not, is going to be great, right? So I want you to think about that. And this is the end of it. Well, not the end of everything. Like, I mean, the end of the episode. So, yeah. Bye.